Hello guys, welcome to the machine learning mindset. In this tutorial we're going to talk about Python list, which is a very important aspect in learning Python. So we're going to divide this tutorial into two parts. So now you're watching the first part. Make sure to check the description below to make sure you don't miss the link for the second part. So let's just get it started. So let's start with defining a list. Let's call it list temp, or let's put it a better name, just my list. Let's put some elements into that. You should know that we put the elements of the list in the bracket, and we had it in previous tutorials as well. Let's use hi train machine learning model done. There are just few elements in the list, and just going to run it. Simply we put that elements there. How we can get access to different elements of the list? Remember we said before that the list elements starts from zero indexing. Like if we print my list element 0, it's going to print hi. If we do 1, so it's going to print the second element. So 1 is the second index. This is the simple indexing. So what about the negative indexing? Let's just print my list, and I'm just copying it. Print my list -1. As you notice, it's going to print the very last elements. What about print my list -2? So the second elements from the last. It's simple. So this is the concept of the negative indexing. And let's talk about some sort of indexing in general. Assuming we are going to do my list indexing from 2 to 5, what do you get? So let's find the index number 2. 0, 1, 2. It should print machine learning model done. See, so it should machine learning model done in a list. So the output of this list indexing is itself a list, as you can see in different elements. Let's just do it the other way. Just put 2 to 9. So it wouldn't give you any error, although the 9 doesn't exist in the list. So it just automatically put it in a new list with the last index. So it doesn't matter where you end it. But let's do it the other way. Index -1. Again, it starts from the end, but just that the very last element, after which we don't have any element. So I just put it done. Means there's no other things that this printing can find. So starting from the last element, it doesn't matter what we put on the right of that, and it just print the last one. Let's just print -2 to the end. So as you can see, what you have here is that it starts from the second element from the last, and it just continue until its end. So it's just as simply you can choose the negative index as well, like how we define it here. Let's change some values in the list. Assuming you want to change hi here to something else. So let's just have access to this. My list hi is the element 0. Let's do some assignment. My list hi is like test. So let's print my list again. See, the first element is just replaced by the new assignment that we have. That was very simple, just was some sort of assigning the elements. But what if we want to check an element exists in a list? We had the operators before, we have the list, assuming we have, want to define some if. We want to say if test in my list, so just print item found. So test is in list, so this element becomes true and it just printed as we expecting. See, but what if we put it some other way? If test not in my list, print item. So it doesn't print anything. So you would guess why? Because test not in list returns false. Because test in list, test is in list, and not in list returns something false. And as simple as that. Now let's just try to see how many elements we have in a list. So we want to print. We use the building function len. As you can see, it says we have 5 elements in the list. These 5 elements start from index 0 to index 4, as we mentioned it before. So that was pretty much the first part of our tutorials in the list. I hope you enjoyed it. In the next tutorial, we're going to discuss about the different elements and operations on the list, like adding, removing, and so on and so forth. Make sure to check our next videos to stay tuned, and feel free to put comments if you had any question. I would be happy to answer. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned Python list in an efficient way. I know I understand that it was too short, but I think it's all you need for having a good start in knowing and having hands-on list. Thank you for watching.